Reading with your kids.
Hola, ni hao, konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, shalom, mahaba, moni moli wanji, namaste, jambo, bienvenidos. Hi, my name is Jedley, and this is the Reading with Your Kids podcast. We are coming to you from the beautiful neighborhood of Reedville in the southwest corner of Boston, Massachusetts. We're so delighted and so very honored that you are joining us in our mission to help families grow closer through reading. Please be sure to subscribe to the show in the iHeartRadio app, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you find your podcast. Our guest today is Álvaro Carrasco. He is joining us to celebrate BraveUp, a technology, a software that can help schools build safer, more respectful school cultures. Hey, Álvaro, welcome to the Reading with Your Kids podcast. How are you?
Hey, man. Nice. Thank you for your time. I'm great. Thank you for. It's an honor for me to be here with you.
Well, you know, I'm really excited to have you on. People who listen to the show know that I've been doing educational magic shows for over 30 years, and for about the last 20 years or so, the show that was most requested were shows that address the issue of bullying, and it's a very, very serious issue. It affects everybody in schools, whether kids are being targeted, whether kids are being bullies, but every kid sees it happening, and when somebody is being hurt, it hurts everybody because no one feels comfortable in a school.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that all of us saw some of situation. I mean, and I'm a millennial. I'm 32. I'm kind of young, but I didn't have social media. I didn't have online gaming. I didn't have an iPhone in my school. So I can't really imagine how it feels now that it's not just in the schools, also online. So yeah, it's crazy how similar is from all the world. Yeah. You said off the record a few minutes ago, this pandemic. Now it's like super common to use that word, but the UNICEF told is like 10 years ago. Bullying is the silent pandemic because every part of the world, any kind of school, any age, this is happening, and it's a culture, you know. It's how we're living, how we're like starting our first society. So, yeah. We have to stop it.
Yeah. And Álvaro, it is a universal problem. Álvaro grew up in Chile, and I grew up here in Boston, and we're very, very, very spread out in terms of age. I'm almost 100, and he's a millennial. But we both probably experienced very similar histories as we were growing up. And the thing that you mentioned now, you know, when I was a kid, when somebody was being bullied, they were able to go home and to go into their room and escape it, you know, on that level. But kids can't escape it because we give them these little devices that are wonderful, that give them access to all sorts of information, lets them communicate with people, but it also allows people to communicate and to send hurtful bullying messages and to spread rumors and all that kind of nonsense 24/7.
Absolutely. I always tell this example that the only moment that I felt that I was like a victim of something, that I did some stupid in the school and the classmates started laughing about me. I remember when after the school, I went to play tennis with this tennis club with different guys, with different schools, different ages, how I felt different. I forgot all the experience in the school because I was with my other friends of the tennis, playing with them, talking about different stuff. They didn't know what happened in my class. And that, like, relieve space or something like that, it was super important. And we didn't know that. Now, like you said, with internet, with TikTok, with Instagram, Snapchat, Discord, and it doesn't matter the name, the kids of the tennis club saw the same picture, saw the same comments, saw the same meme. So that is dangerous.
Yeah.
And that is what makes these students feel like they don't have any space, any place to be that no one saw that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the things that's most frightening for me. Thankfully, I was able to show when my kids were younger, and I've shared this in the past. When my kids were younger, when I first had a website built for my educational magic shows, they were 6 and 3, and we had this cute little picture of them, and it was on the website for years. As they got older, they said, "Bob, can you take that picture down? We're not babies anymore." And I did. But then when my kids were entering middle school, and that was built by somebody else. I had no access to that file anymore. And I had rebuilt the website, but that picture was still out there online, and I discovered it quite by accident. And I sat down with the kids at that time and I said, "Hey, look, guys, you know that I deleted the picture off the website. It's not there anymore, but it's still floating around. And thankfully, it's just a cute little picture when you guys were babies. Imagine if you or somebody posted a picture of you that was embarrassing or meant to hurt you and ridicule you. It's out there. There's nothing you can do about it."
Yeah. No, and this topic is super important, and not just talking with the kids, because they have to know that nothing's going to disappear in the internet. That's not how internet works. I mean, we have to be super technique in this. I mean, internet has servers. They have a connection. They work taking data. That's the way that internet was created. I mean, they have to use servers. We have to use servers. It's part of this structure, you know? So with that knowledge, you have to realize that, okay, any picture, any comment, anything, what we're talking now is going to be in internet forever. I mean, forever. And that is super important for the kids. And then we talk about cyberbullying. We talk about sexting. That is a really important topic also in the teenagers. What happened with that kind of picture that you are sending on a message on Instagram? Boom, you lose the control of that information. But also, and you use yourself like an example, and I think that's amazing, with the parents. Because today we have to realize and we have to understand that we can't create a profile to a baby of 3 months. We can't, because that picture is going to be there forever. And we connect with the other high problem that we saw on the internet, in the schools, that is this grooming, this grown person that talk with the students, saying that he's a kid or another kid, another student, wherever. That problem is also real. That also happens in internet. And we can take care of these kids waiting to upload that pictures. You talk with parents, I talk with parents, we talk with them, and it's difficult because we want to show to the world the amazing that is my kid. Of course, we all love our kids. I mean, it's of course. But in this 2022, in this moment of the information of what happened on the internet, for real, waiting a few years is going to have a huge impact with the access of the cell phone, of the tablet, of YouTube. I love the technology. I create technology. But I also understand that it's from some ages and some like really understanding where are you going there. You know, it's not just a video. It's much, much more of that. I think this awareness, is super important.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've created a piece of technology called BraveUp, and that is meant to help schools and help kids. Tell us a little bit about it and how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that this was an accident. I was this 25 years old student of business that wanted to create this platform where students could give academic feedback to their teachers. That was my first idea. You know, in Latin America, the quality of the education is a really good, huge topic because we know that we don't have good education in Latin America. So I wanted to take this data of the students and give to the teachers to improve these classes, to improve the education, everything. But in the first month, one student from Colombia, this was a school in Chile, used it to report that she was a victim of bullying just because she was from Colombia. I mean, we can understand many stuff of that small situation. But in that moment, everything changed in my life. I mean, I realized that that tool that I had, the first idea, was much powerful. I mean, look what not millennial, Gen Z is doing it with the technology. It's reporting this. Why is she not talking with her mother or with the school counselor or with the teachers or with the classmates? Why is she using this software? And in that first discovering, we launched this social media, this positive social media, where the students could report anonymously and confidentially if they were victim or witnesses of bullying, cyberbullying, anything. And we started with that. We changed everything. We changed the team. Now we add psychologists and everything. I mean, and we started to work with that, and we started to work with a few schools, and the students use it. It was insane. I mean, we didn't expect. Always when I interview some persons for the team, one of my co-founders, he was working in a huge organization. I say, like, look what's happening. Look what the students doing with this. They are reporting, and not just bullying. Look this. Mental health problem with some teachers, problems between. It was a lot, and they use it. But after a few months, this start to decrease. The students start to forget about the tool. And some of them start to show like, oh, she's reporting. She has the app. She's like this student that is saying about everything, blah, blah, blah. And we detect that. We say like, what's happening? Because the schools, after a school year, were expecting many messages. In the few months, a lot. But then, boom, in the last like 4 months of the year, any. So we sit and we say like, we have to do something about it. The school counselors, they need more data. They need more information. And in that moment, we created BraveUp Data, and these two services, one of them answers the students, the parents, the teachers, all the school community. We take all this data. We have this algorithm, take this information and send some standards about the well-being, about the violence, about the knowledge of the digital world and everything. And you can see all of this all the community, and it's amazing. So because the school counselor has all this data, we're going to prevent that in this age. We're going to work with this information in that age, because that report gives you all the information. But the second one is this sociogram where the students answer, just of them. And we take this algorithm start to work and give the positive relationship, the negative relationship, and the possible students of bullying in the class and also online. The first one is anonymous. We don't know in the first survey who are answering, but in this second, they answer with their names, with the school email. We take that data, and the teachers take that, and they have different options how to sit the students in the class, how to work about this information. And this was amazing because this is in real time. I mean, the students answer, they put send, and after 5 minutes, the teacher and the school counselor receive the report with all the networks. The popular students, the outsiders, the students that 5 or 6 of the class are saying that is a victim of bullying, so you can go and talk with them. You can prevent. And when we discovered that, everything changed. I mean, we were detecting cases. We were doing that, just detecting cases. We had this report channel. It was working perfect, but we needed to prevent. So we moved to this data, to this real time. And now we're working with more than 100 schools in Chile. We have schools in Mexico now. We have schools in Colombia. We talked like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have those schools. And it's like, boom, it was super fast. Now we have schools in Mexico and Colombia using it, answering the survey. And you say in the beginning, I'm in New York. Why I'm in New York? Because we are launching now here in the United States. We were supporting of the government of Chile with investors there and everything. I mean, it's like a huge support. Say, okay, let's try it. Like you say, let's try to stop this problem. Let's try to help the schools. yeah, that's, I think, the story.
Well, I'm excited for that. And a lot of the information that BraveUp kind of accumulates, it makes a lot of sense, with my kids, and again, working with the teachers of my kids, working in different schools. You talked about finding where the age group, where the issues are in age groups. And that is absolutely correct. There are certain classrooms that, go on here at like a K through 8 school, K through 6. There are certain classrooms of kids that are perfect together, and they have very little problems from the time they're in kindergarten through grade 6 or 8. But there are other kids, other groups of kids where there's problems the whole time. And so knowing, okay, it's these group of kids, we need to keep an eye and give these kids some more support. It's not about ratting them out and coming down on. It's like giving them the support that they need so they can get along better, so they can be supportive of each other. The idea of being able to know that, okay, wow, the cafeteria seems to be a place where a lot of kids are experiencing bullying, and maybe we can put some extra people down there. Exactly. Really simple, kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes the schools think that they have to expend a lot of money to this action, but it's that you are an expert and you can prove it. You prove it like 2 seconds ago. It's that simple. If you know that this cafeteria is the place, exactly, you have more teachers there, and you see what happened, and you do some survey a few months later, and you see the impact of that action. That's amazing, because the school counselor also could say like, this is working. Mm-hmm. And we need to know that this is working,
Yeah. The idea of a survey, this isn't new. Schools have been taking surveys about bullying for years, but it would be a really massive endeavor to get feedback from 200, 300, 600 kids, and then the counselors who aren't experienced in correlating information and gathering it together and doing statistics and all that, they would be doing it on their own, by hand. And to be able to have a tool where the kids are entering this information and then the AI is able to go zoop, and to give a report back in 5 minutes or an hour, that's groundbreaking.
Exactly. That's the idea, because we know them. They're doing many stuff during the day. They have many responsibilities. And like you said, they want to have this data, and they know that they need it, but they don't have time to take this service. Yeah. They can create it, they can find one, but then start to work and take these details. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And we give them a simple report, easy to read, with any category, with all the grades, with all the classes. So they can also start hey teacher, use that 2 pages, look these 3 pages, boom. That's the idea of the report also. And we understood that they need this PDF, this report that they have to download and send, but also they have this dashboard, more techie, if you want to say, with this information, with this algorithm, with the network, you can go with the mouse and see, oh, this is too strong, this region is really strong, it's really popular. It's also important to understand, look at the students. If we change that students in a positive leader, wow, it's going to change this same class. So all this information is super relevant. And yeah, that's the most exciting part, help that kind of teams. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had an opportunity with another podcast that I was involved in that talked to scientists and engineers. And one of the things that all these really intelligent guys who are literally building rocket ships that are going to Mars, and submarines and jets that go, at hyperspeed. They always said the same thing. The biggest part of their job is trying to understand the problem that they're trying to solve. It's not solving the problem. It's trying to figure out what problem it is they need to solve. And I think that that's the same thing that's happening in a lot of schools. Schools are we want to stop bullying. Okay. So where's the problem? Is it, are we talking cyberbullying? Are we talking 3rd graders? Are we talking 8th graders picking on 6th graders? are we talking about a teacher who's kind of a bully and creating a culture of really, unrest in a classroom? You can't solve it until you know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's awareness, it's education, it's prevention. What's the area? It's huge. And I think that this is important. You have to understand that it's not easy to fix or to give a solution. It's not something that's going to fix like in 3 months, in 1 year, like, oh, I'm a super school counselor in 1 year, we're going to have 0% of, no, that's not true. I mean, this is a change of the way like we have connections, like we live in a society, you know? I mean, for us, our dream is understand that the school is the first society of any human being in any part of the world. In that place, you know a different person like you, and you have a relationship with them. You have to be in the class. You have to follow that leader. This is your teacher. You have to follow the rules. You have to understand who is the headmaster. You live in that first society. And if we can create this first society for those students that is positive, kind, lovely, that respect each other with all your difference, and they understand to grow and learn in that way to live, we change the world.
Yeah. So if people want to get involved, how can they get involved? Is there a huge cost to this? How can schools reach out?
I mean, now we're looking with any school, all the schools that want to take one survey, this algorithm with that class for free. We can use it. You can do it. You have to go just to BraveUp.com. All the information is there. You send us an email. We call you. We create the account. Everything. We take the data and we show you the results in 5 minutes. For real, in 5 minutes. Now we already have 4 schools here in the United States that they're starting, but we want all of them. I mean, it's for free. We have all this experience in Latin America. Like I told you, we have all the success. We created this anti-bullying law in Chile. We have been part of different movements, really important in Latin America of these topics, but we need to prove that the same tool that we created is working here in the United States. And we know that it's different. We know it's a different culture. So we need to adjust some stuff. So in that process, we're now. So any school that now want to work, innovate, and takes this data with us, just go to the webpage, send us a message, and we will be really happy to work with you, help you, and see what happens in the future.
What an exciting opportunity for schools. Now, I guess the one thing, we hear about that people might be concerned about is privacy. Do we have to worry about BraveUp, vacuuming up all this information and selling it the way Facebook and TikTok do?
Yeah, that's a super important topic. No, we're a social impact company. We care about the students, about the schools. The information, the data is of the school. They are the own of everything. I mean, we take this data and we use it because we need to use it, but we have this contract and everything that says that all the data that we take and all the information is of the school. We don't sell, we don't do advertise, nothing of the data. It's not our business model. Our business model is super simple. After this free process, the schools can pay us $200 per month and can use the software with all the students. And then if they want to work with all the school community, with the teacher, with the parents, with the students, with all of them, it's $550 per month. That's our business model. It's in the webpage. It's super transparent. So no, we don't use any of this data of the students. Sorry, but it's super important for us because we need to prove that we can create a new kind of tech companies. Not all the tech companies going to use your data, sell your data, like we know who we're talking. Mm-hmm. And we need to prove, and we need to be the example of that. We have to be super detailed with this. We have lawyers, we have everything. We know that we're using data of kids, of under 21, so we know that it's really important. And no, we're not going to use the data. is of the school, so the privacy is really important for us too.
Yeah. I really respect the fact that you are very upfront. It's like, hey, use it for free. And then if you like it, well, then you can become a subscriber. And this is how much it costs. You see a lot of folks on TV. It's like, it's free, it's free, it's free. And they don't mention to the fact that, once you use it, we want you to pay us.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I really respect that. So if I'm imagining, the school principal, the school committee, they have to make the final say. But is it possible for a parent who's listening to kind of reach out, get some more information that they can then bring and share with their school people?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, we think that this is a real community situation. I mean, the parents are super important. We talked about that in another meeting like weeks ago, that the role of the parents are super important. I mean, and we know that part of the platform has these parents users. If the schools want to work with the parents, if the parents want to pay this $500 per month and give to the school, can do it also. I mean, in Chile, we have that model that some parents say like, it's not expensive. We're going to do it, and we think that is important. And we want to be part. We want to answer the survey. We want to see the videos. We want to use the resource. For example, we have this information about the age of any online gaming, Fortnite, Roblox, wherever. So, like a parent, before to buy the PlayStation, before to buy this game, I'm going to the platform of BraveUp. I'm going to see this. I'm going to look. Okay, 7 years old. He can't use Fortnite because Fortnite is plus 14. Done. Only that 2 minutes of the platform change everything with your kid. Mm-hmm. And that's the impact that we also looking for the parents. So parents, school counselors, headmasters, district, we're all super invited to be part of this BraveUp community. Any of you. We can work with all of you. Yeah.
Awesome. So the website, again, it's BraveUp.com.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if anybody's out there listening, it's worth a look.
Exactly.
It is worth, your kids are worth 2, 3, 4 minutes of your time. Check this out. Bullying is not going away. It's only becoming a bigger problem. It's changing. It's morphing. As Álvaro said, it's, we can't just leave school and leave the bullying behind. It follows kids. It follows them to tennis, to ballet, to dancing. So we have to give schools, give kids the tools they can use to create safe cultures within each other, within their schools. Álvaro, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so very much for being with us.
Thank you for your time. Yes, thank you very much. It was amazing.
Please be sure to join us for the next episode of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. Really excited to welcome Priya Kumari to the podcast. She's going to be celebrating Leaf Talks Peace. It's a really beautiful picture book that introduces kids and families to some of the teachings of Buddhism. It's really fascinating. You don't want to miss it. That's the next episode of the podcast. I want to thank the folks who made today's show so wonderful. Of course, I want to start by thanking our guest, Álvaro Carrasco. Please be sure to check out BraveUp. See if it's something that can make a difference in your kid's school. Also want to thank my team, Alejandra Doherty, Fatima Khan, Rory Grady, Skylar Strauss. I want to thank my beautiful wife for all the support she gives me. Most of all, we all want to thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And as always, thank you so very much for taking the time to make the world a better place by reading with your kids. I'll be looking for you in the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast.